Today I wanted to tell a story about how faith and good understanding are two factors that lead to renunciation, and how the renunciation of something that is important to us or that is a big part of our lives can give us a great amount of energy in practice, and how it leads to working in a very different way to the one who keeps everything and doesn't give anything up. So it's the story of a woman that Ajan met while he was in Rayong in Thailand with Lumpa. And she was the woman who was an owner of a hotel which was on the beach near to where Lumpa's place was. So one day when he was in Rayong with Lumpa, there was a question that Lumpa asked everyone and nobody could answer. So one after another, everyone gave their attempt at an answer. And finally he came to the woman who happened to be the owner of the hotel next to his place on the beachside. So she had come to see him for the first time only 10 days ago. So she was his student since 10 days. But since then she had come every day. When he asked her the question, she answered it. And as she answered, she started to cry. Lumpa looked at her and then right away said, "Everybody out," and everyone was sent away. Only Ajan and one other woman were allowed to stay. She had answered the question correctly. When everyone had gone, Lumpa asked her to explain what she had seen. She told how before she came to see Lumpa, she was the owner of 4 fishing boats and a big orchard of mango trees. Every day her fishing boats would go out and come back, laden down with thousands and thousands of fish to sell at the market. And several times a year she would spray pesticides on her trees. But then 10 days previously, she had come to see Lumpa for the first time, and he had given a teaching about the 5 precepts, non-killing. And after understanding this, she decided to give everything up. She abandoned her fishing boats, and the pesticides that made her fruit sellable. Thus she gave up all her source of wealth, everything that had given her security, importance, and respect in that town. What trust in Lumpa and in the teaching she must have had to do such a thing. When she came, she did not just listen to the teaching, she followed it, and followed it fully, not half-heartedly. She explained how then, after leaving everything behind her, she had seen in herself that her biggest kelesa, her biggest fault, was her anger. So by herself she decided to go and see, how is anger formed? How is anger born? Instead of just being taken over by anger, I will analyze and take anger apart. What's its food? What's it made of? How does it grow? Her technique was to hold her arm high in the air, watching her mind as she did so. She left the arm there for a long time until it started to ache, until the muscles started to burn, until it started to shake and tremble. And inside she watched how the disagreeable feeling wanted to become dislike, how dislike turned to irritation, frustration with the pain, the struggle to keep the arm in the air. So what we have to see here is look at the difference between how this person works compared to all the others who would come to listen to Lumpa at the weekends, not giving anything up, not changing anything deeply. How right away she understood what morality really means, and what a sacrifice it can mean. And she sacrifices what has to be sacrificed, she gave up what has to be given up. And when you have given up everything so suddenly or so completely like that, when you lose all that was your source of security, all that was valuable, what do you do now? Everything that she had depended on, at least for money, or at least for security and comfort, that was gone. So she was left with no door open behind her. All the energy that she had put into building this comfort zone of wealth and security over all those years, all that could now be directed like a laser beam inside onto working on herself. And how she worked. She didn't just meditate to meditate. She didn't walk up and down for the sake of simply walking up and down. She was really searching inside, where is my biggest fault? What's the worst part of me? How can I go opposite of that? Where is the most fearful, horrible, ugly part of me that I don't ever want to face? Now I will put myself face to face with it, open up, see how it's made. It's in this way that a meditator has to work.